Welcome back, welcome to a new video, and welcome to another wonderful product of nature. Today's product belongs to the parsley family. It originates in the Mediterranean. In the 17th century, the French made liquor out of it, and it was among the first herbs grown by American colonists in Massachusetts. But perhaps the most interesting thing about this plant is the way it reflects nature's wisdom. Let's talk about coriander. Now, coriander is an aromatic Mediterranean plant. It has leaves and it has seeds. Both leaves and seeds are used in cooking. It is native to the Mediterranean, but mainly to the southeast Mediterranean. Actually, experts trace it back to about 5,000 years, originating in Egypt. Now today, of course, it is planted everywhere, and you can even plant it in a pot at home. When is it in season? Well, it depends on where you live, because coriander needs mild weather. So if you live somewhere where it's very cold, spring would be a good time to plant coriander, and it only takes about 20 to 30 days, so planting and harvesting are very close. If you live somewhere where it's very hot, then most probably the best time is late summer, when the temperatures start to drop. Now, in most part of the world, it's called and known as coriander. And coriander refers to both the leaves and the seeds. There's another word, which is cilantro. Now, cilantro is the Spanish word for coriander. But when we use the word cilantro, we usually refer to the leaves only. It's also known as Chinese parsley. But the word coriander is a word that includes everything: a root, the leaves, the seeds, the powder seeds, all of them have the name coriander. So let's take a closer look at coriander. So this is coriander, the leaves. First of all, I want you to see the comparison between coriander and parsley. This is parsley. It could be the same color. This has slightly went a little bit lighter, but you see that the leaves are a little bit different. This is also a little bit more coarse. The parsley, it's harder, it's tougher, rougher, whereas coriander has very, very delicate and soft leaves. They're very easy to be edible. Here I have the root of the parsley, a similar root you would find with the coriander. Now, a lot of times, and most of the times, it is not sold with a root, and that's fine. But this is the way it would be found, and this is how it looks like when it's taken out of the soil. Now these over here are coriander seeds. They're round, and actually they're not very, very harsh. They could be, if I take a few seeds here, I can just crush them with my fingers. Okay, so they're not very tough, but they have an amazing, amazing aroma. And this is coriander powder. Now you can either get the powder ready, or you can take the coriander seeds and grind them in a coffee grinder, and this is what I advise, because at that point it's freshly ground and you get this beautiful, beautiful aroma. It's just fresh. Now, another thing that you can do is just crush or blend the seeds with something else. For example, garlic and coriander, or garlic coriander seeds. And in that case, you just crush them in the blender, and be careful when you crush them that they are crushed enough and soft enough not to have any corners of the seeds that you would have any accident in your mouth. So be careful. But the aroma is just amazing. Now, when you plant the cilantro, these are the seeds that you plant. You crush them a little bit and you put them in the soil. It doesn't need to be very deep. Again, you can plant them in a pot at home. They need water and sunshine, and after about 25-30 days they are ready to harvest. This is the way that they would look. And the reason that a lot of times when we buy cilantro there's no roots is because they are cut right above the soil so that the roots can shoot out again more cilantro. A rule of thumb, whatever you buy with it, whether it's cilantro or coriander or mint, and you want to smell it, what you do is that you take one stem, and you don't need to break it off, just crush it and smell the point where you crushed. This is definitely coriander, and if you crush here or smell the root, this is definitely parsley, and there is a huge difference between them regarding the smell. Whereas if you find them in the market next to one another, it's very possible that you would mistake one for the other. Okay. So what's the nutritional value of coriander? Coriander has very good nutritional value. But first of all, I want to mention something, that the leaves of the coriander and the seeds of the coriander are two different things. Of course, have a very different texture. They smell totally different and they taste totally different. So you cannot substitute one for the other. So if a recipe demands fresh coriander, you cannot put seed coriander or powder coriander in its place, or vice versa. And since they have two different tastes and two different smells, this means that their structure, their content, and their constituent is different, which also means that their nutritional value is different. Now, fresh coriander I can't say that it tastes like parsley. It doesn't, because first of all, the texture of the leaf is so soft and so beautiful. It is slightly pungent, but the most distinct thing about it is the smell, the aroma that you immediately get in your mouth as you chew on it. The seed of the coriander, on the other hand, is a totally different thing. It has a wonderful aroma, and it's very lemony, as if you put lemon in it. Okay? And this, of course, you get at a very high level when you grind it. Now this, if I could let you smell through the camera, it totally smells lemon, which is amazing. But the most amazing thing in here is how this plant reflects the wisdom of nature. And what do I mean by that? Now, we know that most fruits and vegetables and greens have a lot of vitamins and minerals. We know that vitamins are very delicate and they're very sensitive, and that's why a lot of them are destroyed with heat, for example. So if something contains a lot of vitamin C and we cook it, most of this vitamin C would be destroyed. But minerals, on the other hand, because they're metals, Even if you expose them to heat, like iron, magnesium, and calcium, they're not destroyed. So the wisdom of nature is seen in the fact that most of the vitamins are found in fruits, which we consume raw, and most of the minerals are found more in vegetables that we can eat either raw or cooked. So the cooking is not going to destroy the minerals. Now, when we come to coriander, it's amazing. Coriander has and contains a lot of vitamins and minerals. It has vitamin C and vitamin A, vitamin K. It has iron, manganese, and phosphorus. But what we see is a very amazing thing, that most of the vitamins, the higher concentration of the vitamins, is in the leaves that we can eat raw. And I strongly recommend that you do use coriander in salads. Whereas most of the minerals, the higher concentration of the mineral, is found in the seeds. And the seeds, of course, we use more in cooked dishes like stews and soups. And I find this absolutely amazing. So, for example, leaves, they're considered a very good item to consume for the health of the eyes. And the seeds are very effective in treating urinary tract infections. They are very good for the bones, they're very good for the kidney health, they're very good for managing diabetes. But in general, coriander is considered anti-microbial, anti-inflammatory. It lowers the bad cholesterol. But there are two very important functions and benefits of coriander. First of all, it protects brain cells. And this is very important, and the studies were done using extracts of coriander. So they protect brain cells because most of the diseases concerning brain cells usually begin with an inflammation. And this is where coriander plays its role. It's anti-inflammatory, and apparently it aims for brain cells. And it also improves memory. The second thing is that it has a very high effect in treating symptoms of anxiety. It's definitely something that's worth including in our diet. So what are some simple and easy ways to include coriander in our diet? Again, coriander seeds have a very lemony and floral taste. It goes very well with cumin. So you can use it in stews. It can also be used when you make pickles. If you make any kind of pickles, we spoke how you can make pickles from onions. I will have that at the end of this video. Once you make the pickles, add some seeds of coriander in there, and it will give a beautiful, it will give a positive note to the taste. You can blend the coriander seeds with other things like garlic and coconut milk. You can add lemon juice and or peanuts even, and make a nice sauce or a wonderful marinade for meat. The coriander leaves you can use in salads. Use it as much as you can raw. It's really worth adding it to salads. I'm telling you, the aroma it provides is just amazing. So what's to remember about coriander? Coriander can be used either as an herb or as a spice or as a seasoning. It adds great aroma and flavor to any dish that you're going to use it in. It has very few calories, of course. It's very affordable. It's easy to plant. It's even very easy to use. And it has plenty of nutritional value. And remember, the closer we are to nature, the healthier we are. This is the end of this video. If you like the content, then please click the subscribe button underneath this video so that you can be notified every time there's a new video coming up. Please join our Facebook group. The link is right below the video. For discussions and comments, find us in Instagram and in Pinterest for a beautiful photo gallery of all the products that we talk about. Thank you for listening, and see you next.